Hello everyone, do anyone still remember me? I'm Jothi from KTP Group of Companies, or Mr. Ko will address me as Jothi. The purpose of doing this video today is to share my working journey at KTP for around 11 months. I started my working journey at KTP as an intern, which I did internship in marketing, and I was lucky enough to get appointed as a market development executive after my internship journey. So it's time for me to leave KTP with a heavy heart because I plan to continue my masters in marketing with a full-time mode. Okay, today I'm going to share some parts of my working journey at KTP. First of all, what do I learn the most at KTP? So I would say I learn a lot about my job scope, especially in marketing, and also I get a golden opportunity to learn some HR tasks as I was given the opportunity to handle the HR tasks of this company. In marketing, I used to learn some various types of applications or apps such as Canva, MailChimp or MailerLite to carry out my marketing tasks. For instance, I used Canva to create some posters to be posted in our social media platforms such as Facebook. Besides, I will also create and edit videos to be posted in our YouTube channel. The next will be the HR task. I have zero knowledge in HR tasks, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ko for believing in me to carry out the HR task. And without Mr. Ko, I think it wouldn't be possible for me to carry out the HR task. For surely it was a roller coaster ride for me to carry out the HR tasks. So some HR tasks such as recruiting people, doing orientation for the newcomers and creating HR memo will be part of the HR task. Throughout carrying the HR task, I learned a lot on the interview process at KTP, as Mr. Go always shared to me on how to recruit the best people for our company. On this time being, I would like to thank our audit manager, Ms. Jothi, and also our assistant audit manager, Ms. Punita, for helping me throughout the interview process, as I learned from them on how to interview some people for our company. So Mr. Ko, I would like to say one thing. I will be forever grateful for Mr. Ko in believing on me to carry out the HR task. Next is, what is the statement from Mr. Ko that I remember the most? I think some of them knows about the statement that Mr. Ko used to tell with me. The statement is, Mr. Ko used to say to me that you are the luckiest intern at KTP. So, am I the luckiest intern at KTP? I would fully agree on the statement that Mr. Ko used to tell with me. I think I'm the luckiest intern at KTP because I got the chance to direct deal with our boss, Mr. Ko, and also I got a chance to learn from him a lot of things. So, Mr. Ko, I'm the luckiest intern ever. The next part of my sharing section today is what are the mistakes that I've done and I remember the most scariest part of our sharing section for today. There are some common mistakes that I've done throughout my working journey at KTP. Some of them are like not posting inaccurate posters at our social media platform, doing some silly mistakes in creating the offer letter for the newcomers, and also the mistake that I remember the most is like not preparing well for our internal webinar. So even though I get scolded from Mr. Ko, and even though I teared a lot from my mistakes, I still learn a lot from it. It would be a memorable one to me because it gave 100 of lessons to me. Besides, I would like to share on the events that I remember the most throughout my working journey at KTP. Mostly all the events that I've participated at KTP is the memorable one for me. But the most precious event will be the webinar that I've participated as the host. The first webinar will be the Ask Me Anything, my intern story at KTP. I would say this is the most precious webinar in my life because I learned a lot from my first webinar on how to set up the webinar, on how to talk in front of camera, and a lot of things in conducting a perfect webinar. The next precious event that I remember the most is the last webinar I've participated as the host before I left KTP, which is on how to interview people at KTP. So I get a chance to share my insights about how to interview people at KTP. Then I'm going to share the difference on my first day and last day at KTP. The first day I entered KTP, I was really fresh because I just started my intern and I don't have any specific knowledge in working related environment, and the culture was very new to me and the colleagues are very new and the boss looks so fierce. The last day at KTP, I would say it was really a precious moment for me because they have arranged like some celebration at KTP as I was considered as someone to be remembered at KTP. I think I have left KTP as a well-groomed employee as I have well adapted with many skills and knowledges, including work-related skills and also on behavior skills. I think KTP would be considered as a good platform for the beginners as me, as we can be someone before we left KTP with a lot of knowledges and skills. So before I end my sharing section for today, I would like to thank some people to make my working journey to be wonderful at KTP. First of all, I would like to thank our principal, Mr. Ko, on his sacrifices on his time to teaching me a lot throughout my working journey, and also for being patient in teaching one by one in carry out my daily tasks at KTP, as I'm forever grateful for you, Mr. Go, because I learned a lot from you, and thank you so much, Mr. Go. And I would like to say one thing to everyone. Our boss is actually not fierce because he may look fierce, but he's actually really helpful in sharing his knowledge to us. And I would like to say thank you is Miss Punita, our assistant audit manager. Thank you for creating a bond like a sister to me. I truly miss you a lot. Without you, my journey at KTP will not be as smooth enough. I would like to say thank you for your time in leading me and helping me a lot and being as a shadow for me in carrying out my daily tasks. Next person I would like to say thank you is Miss Lim Chu Hoi, our audit manager. Thank you, Miss Chu Hoi, for your patience and also in teaching me a lot throughout my working journey. So there are some friends or besties that I've gathered at KTP throughout my working journey, as like SQ Chai, Wenzin, Alisa, and I miss you a lot, guys. Thank you for being such a soulmate at KTP. So I would like to say thank you to my other superiors also, such as Miss Caroline and Miss Lim from THK for guiding me a lot throughout my working journey at KTP. And Miss Caroline, I miss your laugh so much. So in behalf on ending my sharing section for today, I think dear all, it's time to say goodbye, and I'm blessed to work with all of you, and I'm really proud and blessed to be considered as one of the employee at KTP. I wish all of you the best and great success in the future, and as usual, KTP is the best. Thank you, and thank you for listening. I will miss KTP a lot, and bye bye.